What's up guys, Brett here from brettdev.com, coming at you once again from Chiang Mai, and it's another smoky day in Thailand. It's been a few days since I recorded that last video where I was talking about the burning season, and the smoke has not let up one bit. So what I've decided to do is book a flight down south. I'm going to go and hang down there for about a week. In particular, I'm going to go to Koh Phangan, and I thought it would be interesting to do a video talking about how to travel. So this is how to travel from Chiang Mai to Koh Phangan. I've done this journey so many times. Koh Phangan is probably one of my favorite islands. I've been down there probably 6 or 7 times, I guess. But yeah, let me show you. Look at this. Look at the smoke in this city. Look. Okay, so that's Doi Satep. If you can barely see it, and it's not as bad as it was a few days ago. It's definitely got better, but there's been no rain, so I'm assuming it's only got better because they've stopped burning so much. So this is interesting. I just ordered the Grab. We're in the Grab now, going to the airport, and they now have Grab motorbike in Chiang Mai, which they never had before. Previously, you could only get that in Bangkok. The taxi to the airport's like $2.20, and a Grab motorbike was like $1.30. So we'll be getting them in future for sure. Good morning, guys. So I'm down here in Koh Phangan. We've been here for a couple of days now, and I thought this video would be a good opportunity to talk to you guys about how to travel in Thailand, particularly if you've never been to Thailand before, if you're coming on holiday, or if you're backpacking around, or whatever it may be. Because I had a friend who came here a couple of weeks ago to Koh Phangan, and I gave him some advice on how to get onto the island and things like that, because there are so many different travel options in Thailand, and a lot of people kind of just default to the sort of thing that they think is, you know, they've had friends come here and they just kind of copy. So they'll like come here and they'll get on a bus and they'll bus across the country, not really knowing that that's like a really inefficient way to kind of get around this country. Okay, so the way I came from Chiang Mai to Koh Phangan was I booked a flight from Chiang Mai airport to Suratani. Now Suratani is a town just on the mainland off of Koh Phangan. So flights to Suratani are really cheap. They were like $50 each. And if you fly into Koh Samui, which is an island next door to Koh Phangan, you still have to get a boat over here, but the flights are like 3 or 4 times the price, right? But not a lot of people know that. So we got a flight from Koh Phangan to Suratani, and then I booked a boat from Suratani airport, bus and a boat. You get a bus from the airport to the pier, and then you get a boat over to Koh Phangan. So I booked the boat and a bus on top of the flight, and it didn't cost hardly anything. I mean, it was like I say, $50 for the flight, and I think the boat was about $12 or $13 for the boat and the bus. So all in all, you're talking like $65 to get from Chiang Mai to Koh Phangan. So it's super cheap. Now, what a lot of people do is they come here and they immediately go to like a booking agent, and then they book on a bus. And it's quite funny because I remember coming to Koh Phangan. This was the first place in Thailand that I ever visited, other than Bangkok, obviously, because it's where you land. The first time I ever came to Thailand, it was like 2013 or 2012, and I landed straight in Bangkok, and I got on a bus, and I went straight down here to Koh Phangan, and I think we paid, all in all, I can't even remember, but it was quite cheap. It was like 600, 800 baht, something like that, but it was fucking horrendous. Like, it was such a horrible bus. It stunk, it was full of backpackers, and just looking back, like, I wish I'd have known about the different airlines and how cheap they were internally, because there's really no reason to get buses and trains when you come to Thailand. There are like 5 or 6 different airlines here. I'll go through them and I'll leave the links to them below so you can check them out. There is Nok Air, which is really cheap. There's AirAsia, there's Vietjet, there's Bangkok Airways, there's Thai Lion Air. If there's any more that I can think of, I'll also put the links in the description. But they're literally like half a dozen airlines in Thailand. They all compete with each other and their prices are just ridiculously low. Anywhere you want to get in Thailand, you can just fly. It's super cheap. There's like no reason to like be getting buses around the place. One thing I will say about if you're going to come down to Koh Phangan via Siratani is, especially with like we're flying with AirAsia and they go back at like 1:30 in the afternoon. It takes some time to get the boat and the bus to the island, maybe like between 3 and 5 hours depending on what boat you get, and so you need to time it right. But absolute worst case, you can always just spend a night in Siratani. There's a bunch of hotels around the airport, which I think I might do on the way back, just because why not? I'm not in any rush and I don't really like rushing to catch a plane or being on the boat or the bus thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to miss my plane. And that's what it's like here in Thailand. Everything runs late, you know. Airlines are always delayed, flights are always delayed. I can't remember the last time I got a flight that wasn't delayed. Not by much, but maybe half an hour, an hour. Buses are always late. Trains are just notorious for being late. Again, going back to that story, when I first came here, the first time I came to Thailand and I came to Koh Phangan, we got that bus down, but on the way back up I got a train from Siratani to Hua Hin, and I got there late, and well, late afternoon, and the only tickets available were like 3rd class tickets, which were really bad. It was like sitting on a park bench the entire way, and I got on the train at like 5 PM and the train didn't leave until like 9 or 10 PM, and I didn't get to Hua Hin until like 5 or 6 in the morning, something crazy. And I remember just keep getting off the train saying to them like, this was supposed to go at like 5, 6 o'clock or whatever. And they were like, yeah, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And the way it works here basically is the train wasn't full up, right? So until the train's full, it's not going anywhere. So that's one thing to consider, like when you are traveling around Thailand or when you're coming down here, anywhere, things are generally late. So don't book things where you think you're going to have an hour or two. Like say if you're getting like a bus to the airport or boat and then bus, and then you're going to get on the plane, and the bus is supposed to arrive at the airport at like 12, your flight's at 1, don't even think you're going to make it, you know. So always be prepared to take it slowly and stuff like that. Where I'm staying in Koh Phangan is on the northwest of the island. So the southeast is where the full moon party is. That's Haad Yao. And I've been to this place like so many times, but I always stay in the northwest of the island. Northwest is like super quiet, and it has all of the best beaches, and you're not around any of that party stuff. So if that's your scene, then you might want to stay on the southeast. But I would recommend, if you're going to come to Koh Phangan, you stay on the northwest or in the north, as far to the north as you can get. I'm staying in this kick-ass little Airbnb. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it on the screen. And this place was like about 1,000 baht per night or 900 baht per night, and I got it for like 5 nights. It's super good, highly recommended. The guy who hosts this was really nice, and I will include a link down in the description which will actually give you a free night stay in Airbnb like anywhere in the world, right? So I have like this Airbnb link where you can get a free stay. So if you're interested in staying here, the link is in the description, and if you want to get like free money, a free night stay, you can use that link as well. Going back to what I was saying about traveling in Thailand as well, like I made a video on this a couple of years ago talking about hotels and stuff. You don't really need to plan when you come to Thailand and you're going to travel around. You really can just wing it. Like I said, I booked this Airbnb, but I equally could have booked from any dozens of hotels across the island. There's always hotels, there's always cheap accommodation, no matter where you go in this country. I booked my flights. I didn't book a return flight when I came down here. I only booked my return flight yesterday because I wasn't sure what day I wanted to go back. I wasn't sure how long I wanted to stay here, and the prices didn't change, right? So it's not like, you know, it's not like when you're booking a long international flight, you need to book things ahead of time because you've got to save money. Not at all. I mean, the only time prices are more expensive, like on flights internally, are if you were to book it like the day before. But a lot of the websites, I mean, I'm flying back with AirAsia, they'll actually show you the cost of the fares. So if you just keep an eye on those and you check every day and you see that they're not going up, you can kind of just book it as and when you want. They don't really get more expensive nearer the time, so that's a good thing to know. Same with hotels. Hotels don't really get more expensive nearer the time. The only thing might be, say for example, you come into Koh Phangan on the night of full moon party, you might just have less choices. You'll still always be able to book somewhere. I mean, the night that I came here was the night before full moon, and I didn't even realise, and I got this Airbnb just fine. I think had it have not been the night before full moon, I may have had more options available, but this place has been absolutely great. It's exactly where I wanted to stay. It's cheap, like 1,000 baht a night, so can't really complain. Travelling in Thailand is just super fucking easy. So that's it, guys. That's my advice on how to travel in Thailand. Don't overthink it. Don't get buses, don't get trains. If you can fly, it's pretty much the same price, not much more. And like I said, links are in the description. Download the Airbnb app on your phone, or use the Agoda or hotels.com app. I recommend Airbnb because you actually get cheaper deals for Airbnb than you do through the hotels. Yeah, that's it. It's super simple. Don't overthink it. And until next time, this is Brett from brettdev.com, coming at you from Koh Phangan, and peace out.